How's it going there, guys and girls? This is Ketchup and Mustard here once again, and boy oh boy do we have a whole bunch of reveals, or potential reveals, to share with you today. Recently, literally like a mere few hours ago, NetherRealm Studios and Warner Brothers released a video which kind of goes over NetherRealm's experience with creating Mortal Kombat on the next gen platforms, what it's like for them to really sort of make this game, how a lot of them kind of grew up with the franchise and all that good stuff. But the main meat and potatoes of the video was to kind of really go over what the multiplayer mode entails, which is the faction mode. But throughout this entire video there seems to be a ton of potential reveals for characters and other things in the game. We're not going to waste too much time here, let's literally get stuck in and go over what seems to be a few reveals in the game. So, first things first, it looks very much like Jax could be returning in Mortal Kombat X. NetherRealm released in their video they were showing the sort of challenge and classic tower modes that are in the game, and we can clearly see a cutout of a character that's sporting metal arms. It has a military jacket, a crew cut, he's huge, it pretty much looks just like Jax. He has a little bit of relevance in the Mortal Kombat prequel comic that is released because he's training his daughter in a couple of the panels. So, you know, he's very much still kind of involved in the universe of Mortal Kombat, so it's really great to see that Jax could be returning. Just above Jax in the tower here, you can see there is another character which hasn't been announced yet by the looks of things. It is this sort of archer bowman sort of character. We don't know who this is. I would speculate that it's someone we may have seen in the comics, like Takeda, possibly even Erron Black, although he was depicted with a hat and mask and stuff like that, so I don't exactly know who this character is, but he definitely seems to be a playable character if he's being listed next to these other ones in the tower here. One thing to keep in mind is Ed Boon tweeted a picture not too long ago of a character's hand and what looked like a staff, a stick, something wooden, some sort of weapon, which looks like it fits this bow and arrow quite well. So I would say this is a safe bet that this character is who that belonged to. So this looks like a second confirmed character just above Jax here. One thing that I'd like to point out is that there seems to be mass speculation about the return of Cabal or Movado, because we can see that in this trailer, behind Tyler Lansdowne, there's actually a picture of a hook sword character. As like, it almost looks like a piece of concept art. Upon sort of zooming in and inspecting, it kind of looks like they're just on the collective. You can see other sort of fan projects next to that image. So we can see the Devora makeup lady, we can see some concept, some sort of fan drawings of Smoke and Sub-Zero. I don't actually think that's related to the game. I think it might have just been them sort of advertising the collective in the video. So I don't think it's Cabal or Movado, but that's just my opinion. I think it's the collective. Something we saw in the IGN overview of the game modes that have been revealed, stuff that we know about, that just went up today as well. They mentioned that they had to go with Kitana, and obviously we haven't seen anything on Kitana at this point aside from her trailer, so we don't know what her variations are, what attacks she has, and so on and so forth. But they did mention that in one of Kitana's variations, the Mournful variation, that she has access to Jade's staff and glaive, from, as in like Jade from Mortal Kombat 9. It looks like this pretty much is deconfirming Jade at this point, being that these two weapons were the base of all her attacks, moves and character in Mortal Kombat 9, and considering Jade died in Mortal Kombat 9, and the fact that Kitana is effectively still mourning her or stuff like that, then this could deconfirm Jade pretty hard as far as I'm concerned. So, keeping up with the theme of the sort of military characters that are in Mortal Kombat, it also looks very much like Sonya is returning as well. Originally, in these images of the faction modes where you've got the White Lotus, the Black Dragon, etc., it was Cassie Cage in front of the Special Forces icon, but in the new video it looks very much like Sonya is the character instead. She looks a lot older than Cassie, she's wearing a beret, it's not a look that we've seen Cassie have before, and we do know, again, Sonya being such a key character in the comics so far, that there was scope for Sonya to be in the game as well. Also taking into consideration that, spoilers, sorry, that Sonya obviously was one of the only surviving characters to survive Mortal Kombat 9. It made sense to see her come back, and it looks like she's very much coming back in this one. Something that we saw in the IGN video was they mentioned a few challenges in the challenge tower. Now what's interesting about these are they actually name a few of them by name. Including one called Cyrax Assist, where apparently bombs fly from your side of the screen towards your opponent, and another one called Rain Assist, which is like Rain's bubble attack will just fly from the side of the screen, hit the opponent, and you can move them around. I don't know if this will confirm them as playable or confirm them as Challenge Tower only assists, because in the past we have had, obviously in Mortal Kombat 9 you could play as boss characters in some challenges, You could play as Tremor in one of the challenges, which didn't exactly, you know, confirm him as a playable character. So I don't think this really confirms or deconfirms anything, but the fact that they're being mentioned could be good news for Cyrax mains like myself, or those who want Rain back, or characters like that. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. So that seems to be all the characters that we can spot, either returning or new ones to see. Moving on, we can see some new fatality types that we haven't seen announced up to this point. First being this faction fatality. I'm a little bit skeptical about this. I don't think the faction fatality is going to be a stable thing that you can do at the end of any fight. I think this would be a way to signify the end of like a clan fight or a faction war and stuff like that. So I don't think this is going to be a stable one, but just by looking at how the fatality itself is done. But obviously that's just my opinion. More interestingly, we can see that brutalities could be returning. Ed Boon has been teasing for a long time that there'll be an older form of ality coming back, and for those of you unaware, brutalities were introduced in Mortal Kombat Trilogy, and they were just in the form of a really long combo which would evolve into your opponent just exploding at the end of it. So if that is indeed coming back, that could be incredibly interesting to see in Mortal Kombat X. Whether or not it'll be another long combo, whether it be just a certain type of fatality, we don't know. But it does look like brutalities will be coming back, as you can see on the image here, so I'm really hoping they do, because they were absolutely fantastic. Okay, so I think to wrap this up, the only other thing that we've really noticed is that there seem to be a few sort of returning modes. Test Your Might and Test Your Luck is seen in menus here. We didn't see any gameplay of those, but they are in the menus. And on top of that, we also see the actual sort of single player tower where you've got the warrior, you've got the champion. I don't know whether they're going to be difficulty settings, because they were different difficulty settings in Mortal Kombat 3. Whether that's going to be the same here, we don't know, but we can see them, so I just thought I'd, you know, include that so you guys can see it as well, just in case anyone didn't quite catch it. So that about wraps things up in terms of what we saw in these two videos. I'm sure there are things that we missed, so if there's anything you guys spotted that we didn't include, please let us know in the comments below. If there's anything that you want to see in future videos, also just, you know, drop us a comment, let us know what you want to see, and feel free to give us a like and a subscribe if you like the content, because as we said before, we are going to be doing a lot more videos like this with all the new reveals, because Mortal Kombat X is really coming around quickly. Before we know it, it's going to be out, and then everyone's going to be losing their social lives to it, and we're all going to be having an absolute blast. So absolutely cannot wait. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.